What is up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of this third-person shooter tutorial series that we've been doing for a while now. So I've got a day, flatmates are gone, so let's just record a bunch of episodes and see where we go. In the last episode, I saw this, I'm gonna fix this. In the last episodes we set up some shooting, and yeah, I probably should upload this episode earlier actually, because since we changed some variables, but I didn't restart the editor. And what happens is basically in this where is it, details, so we have these structures that we are using for the weapons and everything, and in these structures we have a lot of variables, and since we have now integrated these structures in our inventory, whenever we change these structures they sometimes break the references to the inventory, which is what we've seen here, which is why we get these errors. And this is really weird because it's been going on since like Unreal Engine 4, maybe like 4.15 or something, 4.13, and every time I've made like 2 threads I think in the Unreal community forums, and I've seen a bunch of other people commenting it as well, and every time Epic Games actually say that they've fixed this. So they say that this shouldn't happen, but it does still happen even in Unreal Engine 5. So it's definitely like something in the absolute source code of the engine or something, because since it's actually transferred to Unreal Engine 5 from Unreal Engine 4, it's definitely a more underlying issue. But they are living proof. They say it doesn't happen. It does happen. It's just that it's hard to recreate because it doesn't always happen. It happens every now and then. So I found a workaround. So whenever we change something in the structures, we just need to save only that structure and then close down the project without saving everything else. When we then open the project again, it rebuilds the references. So that works. But now we have this issue here, so I'm just gonna solve it live so that you see how we can solve it, because it's also gonna mess up the details of these, right? So you can see that the details here is now empty, so it's quite annoying actually, because we have to redo the entire inventory. So yeah, let's just do it. You basically need to redo these loops. So we need to do a new for each loop, and we need to do a new create widget, because it doesn't, if we just refresh these, we can just refresh these and the errors will go away, but then they will be back. Those will still create errors. Let's see if it actually broke the references to, so I don't think we will be able to equip. Okay, yeah, actually it didn't break the inventory references itself, so it's not that big of an issue. But sometimes it does break the details that we already assigned to the inventory. And you could just refresh these and then it's fine. And actually maybe that's fine. Maybe it is fixed in Unreal Engine 5. Let me test that. 1 second. Yep, you see, I restarted the editor and tried to play again, and the error is still here. So it doesn't help to just refresh them. You see, it's back. So it doesn't really help to just refresh them. You actually do have to make a new for each loop and a new create widget, which is really weird because now it's gonna work like this, and item slot, and details, details, and down here, and we're just gonna bring all of these up here. And now we can delete this, everything should work now. Bum, bum, bum. No errors. Let's see if it works. And it does work. Okay, good. So that works. So yeah, that's just a quick fix. I think I'm just gonna pause this one here and upload this one alone, just so you see. Actually, it's such a quick fix, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just keep it here. We'll just keep it here, and then we'll keep doing this video. So in the last one, we set up this shooting, which is quite nice. The muzzle flash is from Blade's character. You can go in, probably find some other Paragon character with other muzzle flashes. We're gonna fix up the reticle later and do some more stuff. What we're gonna do now, I think, is we're gonna do the, because this is not how aiming works. So we're gonna set that up. So yeah, if we just go into, give me 1 second. All right, yeah, I just had to check so that it actually worked. I just wanted to restart again, and it did work, so it's fine. Just so I don't leave you hanging if you get a bunch of errors. So anyway, let's do the aiming, or the rotation. So in our player character, you need to go to your animation blueprint. So in your animation blueprint, this is where we're gonna set that up. So basically, we're gonna do it somewhere around here. I think we'll do it here. Yep. Here. Yeah. So this is also, I didn't show you this, but this is, I removed this part from my animation blueprint because this is for when using the single animation, but in the when we equip a single weapon animation that I showed you how to do. But I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna use blend spaces. So removing to make it simpler. So we could do this in a couple of places. I guess we won't be playing, we might as well use it as normal movement because we won't be, so let's do it here. So what we need is a layered blend per bone node, and I did this in my RPG series as well when we do the bone. So basically what we want to do is you could also use blend space, an aim space it's called in that case, like, which is basically a blend space with different poses for your character. But I find this works quite well actually, and it's also a lot easier to do. So if you so basically what we want to do is we want to change the rotation of the spine _01, because as you can see, it's this rotation that we want to mess around with. So when we look down, we want to look down. When we look up, we want to look up. So that's what we're gonna do. Not layered, yeah, layer blend per bone. No, not layered blend per bone. What's it called? Let me check. Yeah. So we're not gonna do a layer blend per bone. We're gonna transform bone. What happens if I copy it? So it exists. Transform modify, there. So search for it, transform modify bone. So not layered. There we go. And okay, since this is in component space, we aren't doing that anywhere else, so let's just keep it here. So if we click on this, we want to rotate something, and what we want to rotate here is the spine 01, which I showed you. So, and basically what we want to do here, if we take a look here now, let's say we do 45. Okay, maybe it doesn't work. Warning. No components to modify. There is a component to modify, isn't it? Ah, yeah. Okay, so let's just keep this cleaner. Translation we don't need. So you can see here we have the translation here exposed as pin by default. Let's remove that. We also will not change the scale. So we have the scale here. We also don't need that. So there we go. I'm not sure why it's still complaining, but and why it doesn't show. Yeah. Did I not choose the bone? Spine. World space. Let me check how I did in my other component space. Ignore, bind. Zeros should work. Is that why? Why does it not want to? Transform, modify bones, spine 01. No components to modify selected. Either rotation, translation, or scale should be set to something other than ignore. Ah, okay. So, rotation, not ignore. We're gonna add to existing. There we go. Always make sure to read the error messages that you get, because sometimes they actually help. So add to existing. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we should, yeah, no. Add to existing. So let's see what happens now. No. Is it the Y? I have no idea why it's okay, let's just keep going. So I promoted this rotation to a variable, and this variable is basically gonna be our aim rotation. So this aim rotation will be added to the spine 01 bone, causing us to go back and forth. And we do that by going into our player character. We have this look up here, right? That's for the gamepad. We don't need that now. Look up here. So this is the mouse input for aiming or looking, basically. So in here we want to do another function. We want to do a custom. Actually, yeah. So we need to add a variable here as well, called aim rotation. Make it a rotator. And basically what we need to do is we want to get this variable to our animation blueprint. So create a new custom event, and this is not going to be a rep notifier, it's not going to be a multicast or anything, it's just going to be a server set aim rotation. And we're gonna set the aim rotation, but we're actually gonna split it, I think. Yeah, because we only want the roll, I think. Yeah, we only want the roll. So the X, and we're gonna set it here as well. Gonna split, and we only want to roll. So after here, we're gonna call the server So basically what we're doing here is we are setting it on the client by just setting the variable straight on no event or anything, it's just on the only client. You could do a custom event called only client, but might as well do it here. And then from here we also want to send it to the server, so that's here. So in that case both the client and the server knows about it. But to actually make it replicate properly, we need to also assign it a replicated, the replication to replicated. So not rep notify, replicated. Because this makes, when the variable is replicated, it replicates between the server and the client, and all other clients will see it, will understand the change as well. So yeah, I think it's the role. Then we're gonna get control rotation, and we're gonna split it. And we're just gonna have to try it out because I don't remember. I have it here, let me check. Oh yeah, okay, so it's the pitch. There we go. So we take the pitch and set the roll, right? Just gonna see what happens. Nothing happens. A second. Because I have my other project here. Get control rotation, pitch, X6. Yeah, okay. Ah, yeah, of course nothing is happening. Because in our animation blueprint, we also need to set the variable. So we need to set it here as well. So from here we are okay, yeah, so we need to actually get the variable itself, and we don't have it accessible here, and we don't want to. The reason we don't want to do a rep notify here is we could do a rep notify of just this event, but that's going to be a bit heavier on performance to do a rep notifier on every lookup axis, because this is basically a tick function. It's going to fire a lot when we move our mouse, so it's better for performance to do it like this. But still, we're gonna need to get the variable, so it's still gonna be a tick spawn event, because we're doing everything that's done here on the update animation is basically tick. but we can't really get around it. Event blueprint begin play cast to player from the try get pawn owner cast to player character, and we're gonna promote to a variable called player ref, which is the player reference. And then we can replace this pawn owner here, because now we have a player reference instead. And the thing with the player reference is that it actually has the variables. So now we can actually get aim rotation, and we have this aim rotation here as well. So we can actually set the aim rotation here. Ta-da! So we are actually now we are setting the aim rotation on the player, and we're setting it here. Is that stupid? Because maybe we could just set it. Do we have a reference to our animation blueprint? We should, right? Maybe we could just set it like this, and that would save us this event. But no, because we're gonna need to replicate it. So yeah, let's just do it like this. It's not gonna work properly now, because as you can see, it is working, he's moving, but when this should be down and this should be up, but it's not, as you can see. So we need to reverse it. And we do that simply by doing times -1. There we go. When we look down and up, it's now working. But we don't want this to be working all the time, because it's gonna be weird. So we only want to set this when we are actually aiming. Get is aiming. So no, nothing happens. When we are aiming, you can see that we're going up and down. But you can also see that as soon as I release the button, we get a pretty weird pose. It's quite fun. But this is obviously weird. So when we release the aiming, we're gonna need to set the rotation back to 0. And the alpha. So, and the alpha can probably be 1 still though. So set aiming. So yeah, here we have this. So when we release, we can set the aim rotation back to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So that's on the release of the right mouse button. And we also need to do server set is aiming. No, sorry. Server set aim rotation to 0. So 0, 0, 0. That should work, I guess. it is not. Ooh. Yeah, because it's so quick. Yeah, because it's still... Actually, let's just do it like this. We have this server set is aiming. This is a replicated rep notify. So inside of this is aiming. We used this weapon blend alpha previously. And we're not using that now, right? You might be doing so, but I'm not doing so. No, okay. I don't want to change it yet. So let's make a new variable in our in our animation graph. You have this alpha. When that is 0, there's gonna be no rotation. So aim alpha. It's gonna be 0 by default. And when we start aiming, it's basically gonna be the same. So if aiming is true, then aim alpha is gonna be 1. If aiming is false, then aim alpha is gonna be 0. Let's see if that works. Yeah, there we go. What happened? Did we bug something out? Did I just make the rifle disappear? Yeah, okay, so this is also probably an issue from the inventory stuff. Yeah. Nope. So everything is there. It's from breaking the references, I guess. That's how it usually is with this inventory stuff. So did I forget to set the details when I create the slots? Yeah, okay, so that's just because I forgot to plug this in. And it doesn't want to get plugged in. S item details. Why doesn't this work? S item details. Fallback structure. Yeah, that should not be a fallback structure. So there we go. Refresh it. I'm not sure if it's gonna work when we reload the project now. Let me check. Alright, it is working now again without any errors. The solution seems to be to just remake it a bunch of times until it actually works. So yeah, it's working now, so that's good. Yeah, anyway, we made the aim rotation, which was the goal of this episode. We ended up doing a bunch of other things as well, but we should also set it up so that we can actually only aim when we have a weapon equipped. But that's fine for now. You can see it's working. Let's see how it looks. Let me just make this one a little bit smaller. So that we can see how it looks. You can see us moving around. very floaty movement. Should change that. I'll fix that between. I think the floaty movement, yeah, we can see that it's actually not replicating, so it was good that I checked. We need to find out why that's not replicating. So give me 1 second. Maybe some of you caught it. It's actually it's ridiculously simple. So it's not replicating. Just because you name an event server set aim rotation doesn't mean it runs on a server. You actually need to set the event to run on the server here as well. The naming doesn't have anything to do with it. This is the important part. Run on server. Good. Let's see if it replicates now. Bum, bum, bum. No, not Microsoft AD. Yeah, I know the line trace is going off every now and then. We're gonna fix stuff like that. So now there we go. You can see we are aiming. It's looking good. So I know this video is already 31 minutes, but I just want to fix up some small stuff. We're gonna do some recoil when we get to that part. Is it lagging? Yeah, that's looking good. You could do a blend space as well, as I said, but this works. Let's do one more thing. Let's print this value so that we can actually clamp it. So it's 0 by default, but it goes I want to go in front of the other character. We want to clamp it, so we can't do, because we don't want to go all the way down here, right? We don't want to go all the way down here. We should probably clamp it between like here and here. So it's minus 310 and plus minus 45 and minus 310. Yeah. So clamp. So minus 45 minus 310. Did I change it now? So it's fine if I do like this. Okay, no, that was a bad clamp. It's supposed to be between these values. It's not. Yeah, sorry, I can't really think today. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I didn't figure it out. It didn't work with the clamp for some reason. I thought it would. It didn't, so apparently I need to do some more calculations for that. So I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I don't want to do too much stuff here, because this is not the most performant. It's like making heavy calculations here is a bad thing. So we're just gonna keep it like this because it's simple and it's working and it's not bad for performance. It's quite good for performance. So let me know if you really want a way to clamp it here. Maybe it should work with a clamp and I'm just too drunk and hungover to actually understand how to do it. But we'll leave it like this for now, and maybe fix it in the future. Anyway, let me know in the comments if there's any questions. And if you're new to the channel, watch this far, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna try to keep the videos shorter. It's just as I'm doing everything live, we do bump into issues and I'm not really planning ahead. So this is basically how I do my own developing. So this is actually how it looks. Everybody else who does their tutorial videos will probably have planned it out ahead. So they also make a lot of errors every now and then, I promise you. Every day. See you in the next one. Goodbye.